Hi, this is Colin Williams, and this is my AP Environmental video. To begin, we're going to start with municipal solid waste, which is anything from fish bones to cardboard to trash, anything that's thrown away in a society. And it's made up in descending order of paper, paperboard, yard waste, food waste, plastics, metals, rubber, leather, textiles, wood, glass, and other smaller materials. One of the problems with landfills is siting. So landfill siting is basically finding locations to place landfills. And the problems that occur with this are where you have a big city and then smaller outlying communities, and the big city doesn't want to be close to the landfill, so they ship their trash out into a location closer to one of the smaller communities. And the smaller communities don't want this trash, so they form groups like LULU, which is locally unwanted land use, NIMBY, not in my backyard, or for politicians, not in my term of office, or NIM2. And this practice is called outsourcing, and another problem with it is that prices go up because, and also it's inefficient because long distance transfer of trash wastes gas and just materials in general. And solutions to the municipal solid waste problems, one of them is waste to energy plants, and in this process municipal solid waste is inspected, then shredded, then burned, which in turn produces heat, and it boils water, producing steam, and that powers generators. And then the ash is collected, and then the smoke is sent out of smokestacks into the air. And the good things about it is it reduces the weight of trash, it controls toxic substances, it doesn't change the trash collection, people don't need to change the way they throw things away, or there's no kind of sorting needed. It can also include resource recovery in the process, and the bad things about it are it causes air pollution and offensive odors, so people don't want to live around it still, and it's expensive to build, and it needs a continuing source of supply of municipal solid waste. And another solution is source reduction, and this is a practice of designing, manufacturing, purchasing, or using materials in such a way that it reduces the amount or toxicity of the trash created. And this can be done by reducing weight, using technology to reduce paper use, reusing goods, composting, and designing products that will last longer. Okay, so some more solutions. Recycling is a big option, and there's primary and secondary recycling. Primary recycling is original waste material is turned back into the same material, so newspaper to newspaper. And secondary recycling is waste materials that are turned into different products, so newspaper to cardboard, for instance. Materials recovery facilities are also an option for improving our municipal solid waste disposal. And using these facilities, they collect, then sort, and then so for instance for glass, they sort it by color, and then they grind it up, and then they send it to glass companies, and for paper they send it to repurposing mills, and for aluminum or other materials they crush it and then send it to detinning plants. Okay. The Solid Waste Disposal Act of 1965 gave jurisdiction over solid waste to the Bureau of Solid Waste Management, and the Resource Recovery Act of 1970 gave jurisdiction over waste management to the EPA, which was just created in the year before, and gave attention to recycling programs. The Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, RCRA, of 1976 caused more regulatory command and control approach to dealing with municipal solid waste, and the EPA got the power to close dumps and set regulations for landfills. The Superfund Act of 1980 addressed abandoned hazardous waste, so waste sites throughout the country, like nuclear waste sites and that sort of thing. Hazardous and Solid Waste Amendment of 1984 gave the EPA greater responsibility to set solid waste criteria for all hazardous waste facilities. And WasteWise, it's a program in which the EPA establishes with local government and schools to design solid waste reduction programs throughout the community. And over 1,400 organizations partnered with the EPA already. And Solid Waste Interstate Transportation Act of 2005 gives local and state governments the authority to limit or prohibit out-of-state waste transportation, solid waste transported to landfills. So this is kind of helping those organizations like NIM2 or Lulu. And that's the end of my AP Environmental video. So thank you. All right.